Oh shit, we're here. Welcome everybody to my podcast. This is the first episode of Earth to Paeka Potcast. Welcome. Hi. If you are new here, besties, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and like this video. Okay? I'm going to try to get this podcast on Spotify as soon as possible. I've heard that it's not too hard, but anyways, I'm very excited to finally have a podcast that I have been telling myself that I was going to make for years and years. I'm very, very late on this, but nonetheless, I am your host, Paeka, aka Paeka de Gallo, aka Pikachu, aka Peekaboo. And to be honest, I'm just here to talk all things on my mind. Like anything that I want to fucking talk about, I'm going to talk about it on my podcast. And that ranges in between a lot of things. For example, murder mysteries. I love Bailey Sarian. Cases that don't sit right with me. Unsolved mysteries. Conspiracy theories. Story times. Self-love advice. I also really want to do like a Puffin with Paeka segment where we kind of just light a little joint, little spleef, and debrief the day. Maybe talk about a few things that like I saw that was relevant and important to address. And also, I have a bunch of you guys submitting me your secrets, so I want to get into spilling those as well and kind of just giving my advice and my feedback. But this is a safe space, so obviously anything that you submit will be anonymous. Hopefully you guys like my setup. I think it's pretty cool. I've spent all day today and yesterday making my husband put every single painting in the exact spot that I want it, and he's just done a great job supporting me throughout all of this. So shout out to my hubby. I fuck with you, you cool. All right, now I feel like let's get into the reason why we're all here. Right. Y'all want to hear me talk my shit, talk my truth. And the only reason why I'll tell you right now that I'm doing this is because I feel like I let everything slide for so long. And it was just years and years of what I felt like isolation and kind of like exclusion. Like I was purposely pushed to the side and ridiculed a lot more than anybody else. And I think it was especially weird because I started going through this whenever I was like 19. So it's been a lot, babes, but we're here to debrief. We're here to talk about some shit I know you guys want to hear a lot. I do have a lot to say and I do like to talk a lot, so I think there will be no issue there, honey. Okay, now let's get into it. I'm really just raw dogging this episode, like, bitch, I really don't even have notes. So excuse me if here and there you see me like on my phone reading something. I tried to last minute write down like a few notes and stuff and like topic points, bullet points, because if I don't do that, I will literally forget everything. Okay, cheers to that. Also, I have 2 pretty cups that are available now on my merch website if you want to click the link in the description and support my new merch line. It says Too Pretty because I don't know if you guys even know I make music and I have a song called Too Pretty. Just water. But okay, let's get this started. Now I'm just going to garden really quickly, but I'll be right back. All right. I feel like this is chilling, to be honest. I want to think of this as like sleepover at Paeka's, like sesh and vibe and chill, debrief, Paeka's perspective. Okay. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are here for reasons beyond my intentions with this podcast. I don't really hold a lot of things back. I don't know if you guys I don't know if you guys can tell. I definitely love to say what's on my mind a lot, so I think that this is perfect for me. Today we're gonna be talking about fucking everything. I mean, I really just kind of want to clear up so much. Sister, if you haven't gotten your snacks, I'm gonna need you to pause this video and go get them and then come back. Okay? Because this shit's gonna be good. First things first, I feel like I have to properly introduce myself. So, hi, my name is Paeka. Paeka, it is Native American origin. It means of the earth, hence why I am the way I am. I don't know. I do TikTok. I'm reclaiming my YouTube title. I used to be a YouTuber like way back when. I do Instagram. I make music. I play a little bit of Fortnite on Twitch, a little bit of Call of Duty, and I'm kind of just unapologetically myself. It's gotten me into a lot of trouble actually here and there. I don't give a fuck about any of the bridges I burnt. Let them burn. No, I'm kidding. No, am I? Anywho, let's talk about the very beginning. Let's bring it back to the beginning. Okay, so I started TikTok whenever I was still in high school. I was about to graduate. I had just moved schools, and TikTok was always fun. Like, everyone always posted on it for fun, or if you wanted to see what your classmates were up to, or what everyone was. If you wanted to see what everyone was doing, like, you essentially kind of just would go on TikTok. And even whenever it was Musical.ly, I was on that. So we go way back. Okay, so boom. I kind of blow up because of my Shakira impressions. I think that's why. I was really goofy and just, I don't know, I feel like I have that charisma that a lot of people were just really attracted to whenever I first started popping off on TikTok. And then the rest is history. Yeah. So in my time on TikTok as an influencer, I have learned a lot. And one of the things that I've really, really wanted to share with you guys that it's just engraved in my brain, is to stand up for yourself. Because regardless of how much status you feel like you have, or, how many friends you have or don't have in the industry, whatever it is, you are what you stand for. Like, you have to have a backbone. If you want to do this, if social media is your calling and you feel like this is something that you could see yourself doing, you need to have a strong backbone. Okay? Because everyone's going to be talking about you all the time. There's going to be false narratives. Oftentimes, you're not even going to be able, or you're going to want to clear things up, But I just know that it's very important to remain true to yourself and to stand up for yourself whenever you really need to. This is something that I didn't 100% believe that I could do whenever I was first starting TikTok. So, especially whenever I felt like it was like, 6 or 7 to 1, Okay, I'm an iPad kid, so I am going to have my iPad here. This is where I took some of my notes. Just a heads up. So we're going to take this lore back to high school. Pop quiz. Does anybody remember this one video that this person put out who had claimed that I was their high school bully? Anyone? Show of hands. Few of y'all? Okay. Let's go ahead and get into that. So you can go watch this video. It doesn't really bother me, just because I am so content and confident in my truth that I have a clear conscience, and I just know it's like BS that doesn't really bother me too much anymore. It used to, obviously, because whenever I was young, it was like, oh my gosh, what are people gonna think of me? That's the fucking problem. I was too concerned about what was this person gonna think. Does this person think differently about me? Fuck all of that. Okay, so boom. That's so Texas. I feel like to be like, okay, so boom, basically, right? In high school, I was the type of person that was friends with every type of group. You know what I mean? Like, I had friends on the volleyball team because I did volleyball, basketball team because I did basketball, track. I was friends with the AV club because, believe it or not, my major was cinematography. I mean, theater, choir, band, like you name it. Everyone was cool. And then there was fashion show practice. Dun, dun, dun. So there's this girl, right? This is supposedly the one who I bullied. Okay, let's just call her Butterfly. Or I actually think that their pronouns are they, them now. So sorry, that's not on purpose. Let's call them a butterfly. So this butterfly didn't like one of my friends. Okay, my friend and this butterfly had beef. Like, I think they were actually really going at it. And I can do a story time on that later, like if you guys are actually really interested. But Butterfly and my friend, they were not fucking with each other. Okay, so this one day we're practicing for the school fashion show. It was like this thing that my Fine Arts Academy did. It was really cool, actually. And when we're in the line, I noticed that Butterfly had these really beautiful camo pants on. And I don't know if you guys remember like that trend of like the colorful camo pants, but they were cool as fuck. I was definitely on that trend. I thought it was cool. But anyways, I had never seen anything like those pants before, and so I asked Butterfly, like, yo, where'd you get those? Those are cool as fuck. And they kind of just looked me up and down, like in a weird way. It was like, oh, I don't remember. Like, my mom got them for me. Okay, cool, whatever. Moving on. Like, I was like, not a big deal. But my homegirl was also in the fashion show, so she was like, And I really don't even know the details, but I am still friends with that girl. So if y'all want me to bring her on the podcast, like, let me know. Okay, fast forward. I found the camo pants. They were really pretty. I got a pink pair, a yellow pair, and a green pair. Like, fuck it. I was on that. Anyways, I wore them to school. I took pictures in them like you do in high school. You take pictures at school because you think you're all fucking cool and shit. And I posted them on Instagram. And then my homegirl comments, who wore the pants better? Definitely not her. Or something like that. Like, who wore the pants better? Oh, you. Like, it was just petty. And I replied, and I was like, ooh, you stirring the pot. So Butterfly takes this screenshot and posts it and claims that because of this, I was their bully. So they base this entire figment of a story, of a narrative of me being a mean bully in high school over a comment that my friend, what can you do, right? Okay, moving on. A lot of people want me to speak on Alexis and Des Machado. I don't have anything bad to say. I personally am happy for Des because she had her baby, and that's beautiful. Alexis, I don't know. Every once in a while, she'll pop up on my For You page, and she looks really happy and great in Mexico, so that's awesome. Obviously, like, we're not best friends. And there's a lot that I could say there, but I think that the best thing to do is just to say as little as possible. I'll basically keep it short on these two because they didn't do anything to me recently. I mean, aside from Des literally reposting a video of me that insinuated I was homeless and being like, nah, the shit you see in LA, like. And then I think she even tried to say that she didn't know it was me after she had posted that. Like, girl. Ay. Anywho, Des had always kind of like made it clear to me that she almost felt like entitled to my success and my upbringing whenever I first started social media, because she would like shout me out. And also she had told me that like since she helped me monetize my YouTube channel, that she basically was like, the reason why I was making money and stuff like that, which is very far-fetched. I definitely appreciate and I'm grateful for everything that she did for me. I do think we had a good friendship, but I just don't think I ever really understood why it was so bad of a fallout. Like, I don't get why me staying at the Wiggies house back then instead of Dez's house for that first night that I was in LA, why that was so bad. It wasn't like I wasn't gonna hang out with her still, you know what I mean? Like, I think that that's what she thought, honestly, and I can understand why her feelings were hurt and why she acted like that, if that's the case, because whenever I touched down in LA, like, I had let Des know, hey, I'm here, you know, we can hang out whenever I'm free, and I just think she was a little upset with me because she wanted to pick me up from the airport. She was trying to hang out, and she's like, how the fuck can you go with these girls that you just met over me? Which honestly is kind of a valid point, right? And at the same time, it was kind of just like, it's not really about picking one group over you, you know, like picking one over the other. It's more kind of just, this was the most convenient and already planned out way that I was gonna get to LA and stay in LA, and I didn't see a problem with like coordinating another time to get together, but that was just not in our path, unfortunately. And then everything else after that was history, right? You got the Alexis Marie video on me and the cornball situation. It was a lot, honestly. But there's not really much else I can say on them. Let's move on to the Wiggies, shall we? Basically, I'm going to reiterate a little bit of what I said on TikTok and some. Excuse me. But yeah, these girls, Emily, Julie, and Sile, straight up the meanest people I've ever met in my life. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm not sugarcoating shit. These girls were straight up mean girls. And I don't really want to throw this stereotype out there too much, but I have heard that girls from Miami are really mean. I don't know what the fuck that's about, because every other girl that I've met from Miami, pretty fucking chill. This was a different experience, okay? So basically, right, I reached out to Santi way back when. And I was like, hey, I'm going to be in LA this week, you know. Would you want to collab or hang out? Sure, yeah, let's get together. Okay, boom. We end up staying at the house that they're at, the dad Wiggies and the bad Wiggies, right? So the girls and the boys. And the boys were actually really nice to give us their room, because the girls weren't going to give up their room. They didn't even want to ask for that, you know. I was prepared to sleep on the couch. I mean, shit, I was just like, I have a roof over my head. That's fine. I don't care. You know, we also didn't have to stay with them, but it did help a lot. And I think that it was good for the content, and it was also good for like the friendship that I felt like we were building at the time. Right. Anyways, I think Jaco picked us up from the airport, went over to the house, met everybody. To be honest, first impression of everybody, not bad people. And I don't think that they're bad people. I want to say that right now. I don't think that these people are bad people. I just think here and there they made a few decisions that were shitty towards me. But that's it. Okay. The girls. I'm like, where the fuck do I start? So what I can tell you about the girls for sure is that they definitely don't like anybody getting attention around them. Like, if it's gonna deter from the attention that they have on them, they're not gonna stand for it. And I think, to be honest, that's one of the reasons why our friendship didn't work out. Because I remember there were instances where at Target, let's say we would all go to Target to get some things for the house, and supporters would come up to me and who I was with at the time, very excited, very happy, very intimate, pure moments. I love meeting supporters, so it's always really fun to me. And you can just tell by the look on these girls' faces that they were so bothered and kind of like, what the fuck, they're getting recognized a lot over here? Like, it was almost weird for them to see that, you know? I think that they really looked down on me because I didn't necessarily have as much numbers as they did, as big of a following, as much clout or hype or whatever you want to call it, right? But this Airbnb that we stayed at was like a TikTok house, like it's a content house. And what do you do in a content house? You make content, right? Somehow it was always a fucking problem whenever I wanted to make content in the content house. It became a thing of like, do you see how many times she posts? Girl, even whenever I wasn't around them or in LA, I was kind of known for posting like 8 times a day on some real shit. And I still kind of do post that much. So it was really weird for me to experience kind of getting backlash for doing my job, you know? And then also like that was kind of a huge point and a big reason why we all linked up was to make content, right? And it was just very hypocritical because, for them, it was fine to film TikToks all day. It was fine to collab and to even make a lot of videos with me, actually, each of them. And then, like, never fucking tag me. That was what was really weird to me. I was like, okay, because I know that it's not that freaking hard to remember to put my username, like, in a few TikTok videos at least. Nope. Oh my gosh, T, this one time I was at Louis' birthday party, right? And LA is pretty small, okay? It's not too low of a chance that you see somebody that you know is on social media at a party in LA. Like, almost at any fucking party, you kind of know that someone from social media that you know or that you're mutuals with or that you've heard of is going to be at that party, right? Okay. So, I'm at Louis' party. The Wiggies are there. So is Manny. I don't know if you guys know Manny, but Manny's funny. Anyways, Manny and I were like mutuals on TikTok before my main account on TikTok got hacked. Some bullshit. So Manny and I were mutuals, and he was like very close with the bad Wiggies. I don't know if he still is, but from my understanding, they were always like super close. I remember Manny and I locked eyes and we were like excited to see each other. So he comes over to me. We talk, we catch up for a little bit. We take a selfie. And then I notice like in the corner of my eye, Sila's like staring at us. Like kind of just like you could tell she's scoping the scenery out so she can like go tell her friends. She tells Julie and Emily. They all kind of like get fired up, you could tell. And then they call Manny, and Sila comes and grabs Manny out of the circle that I was in and like pulls him away. And I was like, oop, he's in trouble. Someone's in trouble. Like, I'm sorry, you know. It was a little funny though. I think it's very petty. Because what do you mean? People can't be friends with somebody that you don't like for no reason? What happened? Anyways, let's not say how many fucking times that I would come out of my room ready with an outfit to film, or if it was to go out and eat or sightsee. I mean, the amount of times that these girls would see my outfit and then change into something like a little bit sexier or just a little bit more revealing was intense. It was kind of hard to be around this much like competitive energy. It just felt like very monitoring spirit. You know what I mean? I don't know. And then I feel like they low-key tried to like copy my mannerisms and the way that I would address my fans and stuff like that, which was a little bit weird to me as well. This one night, I remember Julie and Sila just started hella fighting. I think it had something to do with Emily, but I don't 100% remember. So don't quote me on that. Okay, allegedly. So, they're fighting, and I mean, Julie is really a hothead. Like, she was going at it. And so Sila breaks down in tears. And at that point, my mind was like, okay, 2 against 1. Sila has more anxiety. She's kind of going through it the most out of all these girls right now because she was like missing her ex or at the time or her boyfriend or whatever. And it was a lot going on for everybody, but mostly Sila, I saw it with her the most. I think I remember she was like super quiet this day too. And so in my head, I was like, what do I do in this moment? I don't feel right kind of going to Julie and, you know, consoling her because she was just screaming at Sila. So I think I'm gonna sit with Sila and try and calm her down, talk about it. She proceeds to tell me how, like, she doesn't even know why they started this group together because they're so mean to Sile and they treat her like shit. And she's the one that introduced Julie and Emily just kind of like forgot about her and stuff like that. So I don't know the reason why they broke up like today, but I could tell you that she knew a long time ago it wasn't gonna last, unfortunately. Allegedly. Okay, I just remembered a little bit more Des lore. So another reason why she didn't like me is because she had texted me one day and was like, yo, Paeka, is Emily Buddhist? And I was like, I don't fucking know. That's a good question. Because Emily would wear this necklace that was like a Buddhism like pendant. And so did Des. But Des, I think she had got like canceled for it or something previously. And so it was a little messy, I'll admit. But I texted Emily and I was like, yo, Emily, are you Buddhist? She was like, no, but my mom, practices it. And ever since I was little, like, I've worn this. So, oh, okay, that's cool. I had lied to Des. And I was like, yeah, I think she is. Or something like that. I was like, yeah, I think she is. Or I don't know. Just because I didn't want Des to know that, like, I knew and then kind of, like, be mad at me. So Des makes a post on her Instagram and she like screenshotted Emily's necklace and like called her out for it. Emily doesn't know what the fuck to do. I mean, she doesn't even know how to write an apology. So I helped her out with that. I wrote her apology and word for word, literally, she copy and pasted it and then posted it on her story and used it as her apology. And then Des was like upset that I was essentially siding with her, I think because I had helped her wrote that and some more stuff, and because I was staying with them. But I was like, no, it's not like that at all, and it was just a really big deal. So that's another thing that I forgot. But yeah, I remember that. Oh my gosh, slipped my mind there for a second. Okay, I just remembered a little bit more lore about this situation. So a long time ago, I think that the Dad Wiggies had gotten a sponsorship from some brand who wanted to collab with all of us to do like a Dad Wiggies, a Bad Wiggies, and then me and who I had went to LA with at the time, like all of us in a house doing content together. At first, I was kind of down with the idea because I thought, it would be a good opportunity for everybody. And at the same time, I was so kind of like put off already by it because I had already noticed like a lot of little things that just didn't sit right with me, which I did end up being right about after all anyways. But at this point in time, I remember the girls would mostly only ever reach out. Like they were going kind of distant and ghost on me while we were all in LA, like while I was in LA. And they would only reach out like a few hours before the Zoom meeting with this sponsor. And at this point, I was like, I don't really want to fucking do this content house. Why would I want to put myself through more of this? Like, this is already wild. I've already gotten some fucking random, like a big ass chunk of toothpaste on my fucking hairdryer. Like, they're not letting me film my fucking takes in their videos more than one time. I gotta lock in every time I get on camera. And I was also feeling like I'm not about to fucking do a house with these girls who literally just drunkenly admitted to me that they don't trust me. And that's cool. You don't have to trust everybody off rip, but to be in each other's videos and essentially have this fake looking friendship to everyone, right? It felt almost like I got used. Like, okay, so you don't trust me, but you trust me enough to be all over your platforms in your videos to help your image or something. I don't know what it was, to maybe make them look better. They 100% thought and felt like they were better than people. If people liked the Wiggies idea and wanted to do that, they would get mad. Julie would literally be upset and talk shit about anyone who tried to do this idea because it was her idea. And fuck those bitches for stealing it and not coming up with their own shit. not to mention how much she hated that the dad Wiggies were getting fame off of her idea, right? Because God forbid other people put on Party City wigs, right? Okay. I just feel like it's so fucking stupid. Sometimes I hear myself talking about this and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is so stupid. I remember whenever everything came out about the whole rose quartz situation, each one of these people hopped on the bandwagon of like fucking riding this wave of I hate Paeka train. They did not fucking hesitate to just be bullies. Like, I mean, all of them. Julie was making weird ass videos. Sile was making weird videos. Emily was fucking making videos and then deleting them. I mean, it was a shit show. Mind you, the way that I found out that they didn't trust me was so shitty. So picture this. Julie and I are sitting in a restroom and we're drunk as fuck. And we're kind of like catching up because earlier that day there had been a little bit of drama with some guy that had came to the house. I just felt like she was super reserved and something was off. I could tell, obviously, right? So I'm like, what's going on? Like, you haven't said anything today, about like what happened. Like, are you good? What's going on? Just trying to gauge the conversation and see like what's going on. Not even really to get like the tea, but just like what's going on. And she looks at me with like the saddest face and was like, I know. It's just because we don't trust you. Girl, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, what the fuck am I doing here then? I was telling her a few of my intimate things, and for her to kind of just like say that to me in that way, it felt very like condescending. Oh, we just don't trust you. Sorry, what the fuck did I do? I was like, okay, noted. Distanced. Definitely distanced. So there's this old video that Julie had dropped in response to my old video way back when. And she was like, I wasn't in the right headspace to respond to anybody. I was going through a lot. And in my opinion, it was just a little hypocritical of her because, okay, so you can go through that, but I can't go through the same exact thing. You can't give me the same fucking grace of not responding to everybody, especially if you had already told me how you guys felt about me. And basically, I felt like everything that we had shared was just a facade. Make it make sense, babes. Make it make sense. I think that's pretty much it regarding them. I can move on to I'm like, who's next? Pancho. So this fucking old ass weirdo guy basically has like a chisme page, right? And he has made countless videos covering me. I mean, I genuinely would not be able to count if I went on his page how many times he has covered me and talked about me. And I can't even count on my fingers how many times this guy has butchered my name on purpose, my Native American name on purpose, and has sided with literally anybody and everybody who was on the opposite end of that fucking chisme, including people who were weird as fuck, like Fabio way back when. He might be different now, who had like said that my vagina smelled like fish, like fishy pussy or something like that, and he had never even met me. And then Pancho like takes this guy's side and then later on does a whole fucking YouTube video with him in his car and like continues to instigate and ask about me. I mean, this guy has no limits whenever it comes to getting his little coin on his little TikTok page and little chisme page. Like, he's gonna say and do whatever the fuck he wants to get those views, babe. Trust and believe. I mean, this guy has literally posted one of my influencer friends in a fight with her breast out, uncensored. And whenever I commented on Twitter, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you post this? The video was left up. Like, he does not care, okay? It's very concerning, actually. It's very fucking weird. Because how are you a grown man making your money off of talking about what we do. It would be one thing if you were just a chisme page, but you are so fucking biased and so stupid. You don't even get all of the proper information to fully break down a situation. And I was gonna spare you, but then your little weird ass decided to get on your YouTube channel and talk about how I must be jealous of you. Ugh, can you believe it? Because this is your logic. Because you have a loving family that loves you and that you live with at your grown age and that you pay their bills. But let's clock it. Do you actually? Because there's a lot of stuff that people have said about that as well. And every time they try to say it, you block their comments. So like, tea. And then he proceeds to say, oh, it's because she was homeless and, you know, that's why she probably feels the way she does. Motherfucker, you thought you ate? Like, I was never homeless. And if I was, is that really something that you want to dig at? Because if you didn't have mommy and daddy or grandma, you would be homeless too, right? Being homeless is something that can happen to anybody. Anybody. Okay? So I don't really think it's like funny or a dig to like make fun of that. Just my opinion. My thing is, how and why the fuck would I be jealous of Panocha when I have a perfectly loving, beautiful, big family, plus my in-laws? I'm very loved, okay? My mom did pass away a few years ago, and that's something that I'll talk about in another episode. But whenever she was here with us, she was very proud of me, very much loved me. Same thing goes for my dad. My dad loves me. He's very proud of me. He would take me back in a heartbeat, okay? But you got all your fucking facts fucked up. And that's the weird part. How you a chisme page, you don't even know all the real chisme. Are you good? Fora. Fuck Fora, okay? This is a grown man who leaked my fucking bank account numbers because he was petty that I had someone over at my Airbnb a long time ago. Oh, and he never paid me for this photo shoot. And his little excuses was, oh, it's because she didn't hold up her end of the fucking, of everything that she was supposed to do. Bro, all I had to do was shoot some pictures for you and wear your merch that you never ship out to people, actually. Like, there's plenty of receipts. You can go look at my TikTok page. Never pay me, put me on your Instagram ad sponsors, put me on your fucking website, going live with a fucking huge ass rose quartz, crashing out. I don't know if you were fucking drunk or just out of your mind, crashing out over me. I was 19 and this guy was like ganging up on me with my like ex abuser, essentially. I mean, basically, because this guy like posted revenge videos of me, and fucking Fora's over here agreeing and taking this guy's side so publicly too. Like, it was so weird. It was so weird. I also think that he was just fucking mad that I didn't give him his hug. Like, where my hug at? That's Fora. Where my hug at? That's Fora. I think I love you. Bitch, I think you need to go to jail and therapy for everything that you've fucking done to people. Let's not say that one. Allegedly, you got some pretty strong pedo allegations against you, bro. So I'm the last person you want to be worried about, okay? Thank you. The next person we are going to be talking about, she's pretty cool, actually. It's me. Surprise! A lot of people want to know the lore on, was I homeless? What happened? Did I get stranded? Like, what are the details? To be honest, I just feel like this is my story, and I just kind of wanted to keep it my story. But I do understand that my life is so public, and a lot of you guys were like worried. It was a lot, you know, because I did go MIA a little bit afterwards. And I just feel like it's a lot to unpack for someone, especially if you weren't there and you didn't understand anything that I was going through. A little bit of this does have to do with my mom and her passing. The way my mom died was in a very traumatic and scary way. It is just not something that I ever thought would have happened to me. You never think something can happen to you until it happens to you and you're like, oh, fuck. You feel me? But I was still grieving pretty fucking heavily too, actually. And I still grieve to this day. Grieving is a weird fucking process. I'm starting to go to therapy again for this pretty soon because it is hard to maneuver through on your own. When my mom passed, I didn't really have a lot of time to process it. And I think I was so in denial that I just didn't want to accept it. I did not want to accept it. And when I took this trip to LA, there was a night that, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure I got laced. And I was just staying with myself. None of my friends were available. I also was a little too ashamed to call someone to go over to their place at this point. I ended up losing my wallet. So I lost my ID, my credit card, and it was just horrible. I was in no way able to fly back to Texas without my ID. Couldn't make a fucking hotel or Airbnb purchase with no credit card, no proof of payment. And so I was pretty much fucked. I was a little scared at the time to call my dad because, I didn't want him to get mad at me for losing my stuff. And I was also very, out of it. This day, I remember. Kind of pockets, I think. A little bit due to trauma, a little bit due to the lack of sleep that I had. And it was just a lot going on at that point in time for me. So that video of me, it's crazy because I really don't even remember everything after and a lot before as well. I do know that guy didn't have his kids in the car, so it was really weird whenever he said that, and that's kind of why I left in that video. I was like, okay, something's weird because he did not have kids in the back, and I was just asking for a charger, so it was a really shitty situation that got completely misconstrued and turned into something way more than what it was, to people assuming that I was on drugs, that I was homeless, you name it. Everybody was saying everything. So this video ends up going viral, and it kind of spreads really fast, especially because Des had fucking reposted it, of course. I just fucking spiraled. This was by far the most cruel harassment and hate that I had ever gotten in my life. And I had experienced a lot. You guys know, I went fucking through it, from friendship breakups to public fallouts to rose quartz. I just was dragged through everything. But this situation kind of hit me a little bit harder. And so eventually, long story short, Idris and Elvia, I love them. They're really good friends of mine. They picked me up. They actually got me an Uber. And they sat me down, gave me food, gave me water, gave me a place to rest my head that night. Got in contact with my father with my phone, and I was just so out of it. I was so depressed, and I was at a very lost point in my life too, where I was just kind of bro, people are brutal. They did not give a fuck about my feelings. And I'm not here to play victim either. This is just what I went through. And to be honest, I haven't really talked about it in depth like this since. So this is just very vulnerable. Fast forward, my dad ends up flying to LA. I love my daddy. He brings my passport and we fly back with my passport because that's really the only way that I was even able to travel without my ID. And so I get back to Texas and I just break down. I had a fucking anxiety, mental breakdown, like a complete manic episode, I think. And I ended up admitting myself into a mental hospital for a week. Sorry, this is a lot. So I found out that I had gotten sent into like a triggered like weed psychosis. And I was just going through hella psychosis at the time. I mean, I thought people were out to get me. Have y'all seen that meme that's like, I love smoking with paranoid bitches because yes, they're coming, but girl, we're stronger. That's so funny. That was me. Well, it also didn't make it any better that the entire internet was like against me and for something that just felt so minute. After I got out of the mental hospital, I was feeling a lot better. Did some therapy, did some shadow work, soul searching, of course, always. And I'm a lot better now. I don't go through psychosis, so I'm good. I definitely think it was whatever I was laced with that also really like catapulted me into that state of mind. But I do think it's really shitty and kind of comical whenever people try to bring up my quote unquote homeless, I'm doing air quotes if you can't see right now, my homeless past, you know, like that's something to kick me down with. I completely own my past, you know, even though I wasn't homeless. You know, I take that was a day in my life and it was a hard fucking day. You know, I've learned since then. So that's that, really. I don't have much else to tell you about that situation. Just know it's never cool to shit on someone for something that happened to them that you don't even know all the fucking details for. Straight up. Hell yeah. I think that's a good way to start to wind down the podcast. And yeah, that's my truth. I stand 10 toes on everything I said. I still held back on a lot too, but a part of me is just like, no, you've changed. Anxiety, stop. You know what I mean? And then like a little teeny part of me is like, fuck everyone, fuck that. Maybe they've changed, but they treated me like shit. Also, one more thing I want to add. How the fuck are people mad at me? And how is Pancho mad at me for talking shit? And I'm literally doing the same thing that he does. What the fuck is that? Are you good? Anyways, let's go ahead and do confessions to Paeka. I'm going to read a few secrets that some people have told me anonymously, of course. And I'm going to react to them, okay? Because these are fucking crazy. Okay. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Okay. So this girl said, my ex cheated on me, so I slept with his mom. Stood up and applauded. Women for President 2025. That's beautiful. If he cheated on you, I'm all for it. Girl, fuck him and fuck his mom. Like, you do you, sister. Also, if you guys want to send me voice notes on Instagram, I'll screen record them and pull them up for the podcast. So I feel like that would be better and a little bit more interactive. Do you know what I mean? So like, just if you want to tell your secret, you know. Hello, babes. My freaking camera died, so I'm gonna finish off the podcast here. Sorry, I know this is not ideal for the first episode, but like, we're just having technical difficulties, okay? And I still need to find my other camera for a different angle for you guys. So don't fucking hate me. Don't yell at me. It is what it is, okay? Anyways, some person told me in confessions that they pissed in their ex-roommate's shampoo, conditioner, and face wash. Oh my lord. That is fucking insane. They said that they did it because the roommate had did them dirty. But I'm like curious. I need to know how dirty they did you. What exactly happened? Tell me everything from chronological order. Start to end. Like, peeing in someone's face wash is fucking diabolical. So I absolutely have to know this lore. And I think if you were that person that said that, you are not going to be let off the hook. I'm sure everyone in the comments is going to be like, we need you to explain why the fuck you did that. Because, bitch, why the fuck would you do that? Like, it had to have been a crazy reason why. I mean, this fucking roommate was probably your op, bro. Because that's wicked. I mean, wow, really? You're wild. Damn, I'm going to take a little gardening break real quick. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my podcast and today's episode because I know I did. It was nice, honestly, and actually therapeutic to kind of just fucking vomit everything. I just wanted to talk my shit, speak my truth real quick, and get back to business, okay? But this podcast is very exciting to me. I've always wanted to have a podcast. I feel like I talk a lot. And I needed to have some place to let it out. Do you know what I mean? So this is like great. This is full circle for me right now, honestly. The part that I'm looking forward to the most is editing. Yay! Oh my god. Anywho. Did you guys see that Snoop Dogg is like a Trumpy now? What is our world coming to? Like, honestly. And then the TikTok ban. Oh my gosh, do you guys want to talk about that? They gave us like 14 hours with no TikTok. And they said that it was because of the government. But if it was because of the government, then the app wouldn't be able to work, period. Wouldn't have like a sent out premeditated, notification like made by the app, pre-planned to go schedule to be like, oh, we're working with Trump. Oh, we're so happy Trump fixed it. You know what I mean? That makes sense. I hope it did. Anyways, if you guys want to hear any specific murder mystery cases, conspiracy theories, story times, anything like that from me, more confessions, some advice podcasts, let me know. I'm an open book. You know me. You should know this by now, okay? It was really fun chatting with you guys. I hope to see you at the next episode. So please turn on your post notifications, like this video, comment your opinion. You are obviously entitled and your opinion is valid. You can feel however you want to feel, because I feel how I feel and I don't really give a fuck what people think about that. So you should do the same. Give me topics to talk about in the next episode, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Unless something happens and I'm like, psych, I gotta see y'all Friday or Monday. Regardless, I'm gonna get this posting schedule together. I'm gonna get my topics together. I'm gonna get a better mic stand because I feel like this is very inconsistent. Sorry if it is. And we're gonna be balling all 2025. So again, thank you guys for at least listening to my story and hearing me out. It means a lot. I hope to see you guys at the next episode, and hopefully you were here for the longevity and not just the chisme. But even my chismosas and my chismosos, I still love you guys. Don't worry, it's all love. Okay, at that, I am your host, Paeka de Gallo, Peekaboo, Pikachu, and this is me signing off.